What's up, guys? Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV.
I thought you were gonna...
What's up, guys? My name is Mitchell Watts, and this is
Colton Love
with TC Customs Town & Country TV, and today we're gonna go over a couple of different things. The main topic of this video is exactly why you are never going to get your Bronco, but we're gonna use this one as our excuse and our reason to tell you each and every one of those. So, without further ado, let's jump in.
All right, so the first thing you're gonna notice is always gonna be this massive set of 37-inch BFG KO2 tires. This is a tried and true tire, been used for many, many years. Old school guys like them, new school guys like them. Lots of tread life. We have this wrapped around a set of black Rhino rumble wheels. This is an awesome set of wheels. It's not too flashy, but it definitely gets a point across. And Black Rhino is also just an awesome company, and they build a really strong wheel that's actually really good for off-roading. The way we were actually able to fit this under here was with a Zone 3-inch lift kit. Now this is the 3-inch lift kit because it works with the Badlands suspension, and that's gonna be those Bilstein shocks front and rear.
Absolutely, and to kind of go over that and why this is relative to why you're never gonna get your Bronco is because so many people are optioning their Bronco with options that they may or may not necessarily need. They're getting into this habit where they're just clicking through all the options on Ford.com.
I want it all.
Yes, yes, yes. And the problem is, and I hate even saying it because I'm so freaking sick of hearing this word, supply chain issues. But the fact of the matter is that is exactly what's causing a lot of the issues with these Broncos.
Yep.
It's more than just a microchip. And one of the biggest things that Ford is struggling with right now is going to be something called the Sasquatch Package. What is a Sasquatch Package? It is the small, teeny tiny lift. It gives you the ability to run 35s. I think it's a 315 something, but it
70-17, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, so somewhere in that range, but it's almost a 35-inch tire. It comes with a 4.7 gear ratio and comes with lockers front and rear. My argument to you is if you absolutely have to have the lockers, Badlands is a great option for you because you can go with the Badlands, non-Sasquatch, you still get your lockers front and rear.
That's right, and sway bar disconnect.
And it comes with the sway bar disconnect, or stabilizer bar, sway bar. Leave the comment down below. I don't know which one it is, but I guess
everybody's got a name for it, right?
Absolutely. But the other cool thing is you still get some relatively aggressive gear ratios. 4.46 on this particular vehicle, which is versus a Sasquatch is a 4.7. Oh, but a 4.46 can't turn 37s. Well, my Bronco is a Badlands, by the way, just like this one, non-Sasquatch. My Bronco has 4.46 gears, and it's turning 37 1350s, and I have no problem doing 95 miles an hour when I take those quick trips down to Mexico.
That's right, where there's no speed limit.
So the rule of thumb on the suspension that I want to bring up to you guys, do not order Sasquatch if you absolutely don't have to have it. Now, if you're going with a base model and you absolutely have to have lockers, well then, yeah, you don't really have much of a choice. But the rule of thumb with Ford and ordering your vehicle is the fewer options, the better. Another big issue with ordering your Ford Bronco is going to be the bumper situation. And to do that, I'm gonna actually bring up Colton to talk about it, but I wanna tell you a couple things that I love about Fab Fours. So Fab Fours is actually a company that is now owned by Warren Industries. They were actually just recently acquired, and I say that in the best kind of way because Fabtech suspension systems, they're owned by Warren. You've got Fab Fours, a lot of different companies. This is a massive company that is actually a really good company to work with. Just me being in the business, I have an opportunity to work with a lot of different people in the industry, and let me tell you, these are good people, so that's why I'm so excited to show this bumper for the very first time ever. So tell us a little bit more about this bumper, and what is it that you like?
What I really like about this thing is it's US made, which is awesome. America, that's right. So this bumper isn't sitting on a ship somewhere waiting to come in. When I order it, I know it's sitting over in South Carolina or at any one of our distributors' warehouses in America. So no guessing when we're gonna see it.
Shameless plug, we actually have these in stock on our website right now, tccustoms.com. I'll have the links down below if you want. In fact, I will have the links for every one of these custom parts. So if you do take our advice and order your Bronco in an easy way to build it, you can order all of those parts. And I think they've got just about every Bronco bumper in stock right now on our website.
They do, and that's another crazy thing. Since they're made in America, they're in stock. They're not getting made in China and sitting on a truck, or sorry, not a truck, but a ship for 3 weeks.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, I know, it's weird, isn't it?
So tell us a little bit about behind the bumper. What we got in here?
So behind the bumper, like you said, Fab4s and Warren are sister companies, and what we did was we put a Warren 12S winch in here. This is a bad winch. This thing will drag you out of any hole, drag your friends out of any hole. And with that winch, we added in this Factor 55 fair lead and this Factor 55 ultra hook. This thing's got all kinds of fancy gadgets on there to help you get yourself out of any situation or your friends out of any situation.
One thing I love, and I don't mean to interrupt you, Colton, but one thing that I love about the Factor 55 Ultra Hook is it actually promotes the safe way to hook up. So a lot of people don't realize you want that hook going up, so that way if something were to happen, it were to snap, it's going to shoot down into the ground instead of up into the air.
That's right.
And so what they've done is they've got these little grooves here, so that way it's promoting you to hold it just like this to hook up to whatever it is you need to hook up with. You also have a closed shackle mount system located right here, and man, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. And when you wind this thing up against the Factor 55 fair lead, I think it is a beautiful combination, and I would argue one of the most expensive combinations for the front of your winch.
Oh, it's very expensive, but it looks awesome and it works
But it is
real.
one of the best. You get what you pay for. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, it's true.
All
Yeah,
the time.
and another good thing about this winch as well, this has actually got a wireless option. That way, again, you're talking about safety. You can actually step away from the vehicle and not be in the vehicle or in the way or anything. You know, older winches, you'd have to hook up a plug and stand right beside the thing, maybe 6-7 feet away. But yeah, with these new wireless controllers, you can step away and be the safe distance, which is awesome.
Absolutely. And I think we've also got the skid plate from Fab4s on
That's
here
right,
too,
yeah.
don't we? What's going on with that one?
What's really cool about the skid plate is it actually works with the OEM bumper as well. So you don't have to have the whole setup just to get that skid plate. So it is 3/16 steel. It is a 40-pound skid plate, which they call lightweight. There are a lot of skid plates that are going to be heavier, but this thing's going to do its job. As you can tell, these things are made super high quality, super awesome steel, and again, made in America, sourced steel from America, just an awesome company to work with.
So the reason that I bring up this bumper is because the heavy-duty modular front bumper from Ford is a really big constraint when it comes to getting your vehicle scheduled for production. So if you think you might want to do a winch setup, you probably need to consider going with something like this Fab4's front bumper. When you do that, it'll give you the ability to hook up a winch or not. And here's the cool part is you even have a different version of this bumper. If you don't like this big bar here and you want full access to the camera, guess what? You can order this exact same bumper without this pre-runner bar. But trust me, it doesn't block it very, very much, and I think it is worth it for the extra style points. So keep in mind that if you want to take off that heavy-duty modular front bumper, it will significantly speed up your build. But come on in here, Josh, the cameraman. I need to show you my other favorite thing. Ooh. This has nothing to do with how to get your Bronco faster, but it is something that you definitely need to consider, and that is going to be these Fabtech tie rods. This is something that I've got on my own personal Bronco. Once again, Fabtech is another company that is owned by the same group as Warren and Fab4s and Factor 55, all that kind of stuff. But that is a very, very beefy tie rod kit. Keep in mind that if you go with the Wild Track with the Haas 3.0 system, it does come with upgraded tie rods from the OEM factory. From what I understand is that is also a supply chain issue because right now Fox, the shocks that come on that Haas 3.0 system, they are having some serious issues getting enough shocks built for that particular setup. And you can't just get the upgraded tie rods from the Haas 3.0. You have to get that thing as a package. So consider your Wild Track, if you have to have a Wild Track, consider that Wild Track without the Haas 3.0 and consider upgrading the tie rods to something like this Fabtech setup. Before we go any further with the actual walk around, I do need to let you know you should be following me and TC Customs on Instagram. Those handles are right there and it's linked down below. But here's why you should be following us, because we're constantly doing giveaways. In fact, we just wrapped up a full build giveaway, lift kit, wheels, tires for any maker, any model vehicle. In fact, now it's time to hop inside and go call the winner. All right, so we've actually pulled up his Instagram and it looks like him and his wife both happen to have Broncos, which is no shock that he's watching our YouTube channel. But let's go ahead and give him a call. See if he answers first try.
Hello?
Yes, Michael?
Yes.
Hey, Michael, this is Mitchell Watts calling with TCCustoms.com. How are you doing today?
You gotta be kidding me. Hey, Mitchell.
I'm good, man, good. Hey, I saw that you actually placed an order for a set of wheels for a Bronco Black Diamond Sasquatch. Is that right?
No.
You didn't order a set of wheels on our website?
But I'm sorry. I don't think I ordered any, no.
I'm showing right here that you've got an order in for a set of wheels for a do you have a Bronco Black Diamond?
I do.
Okay, and you didn't order the wheels on our website?
I did not. I did sign up for that thing, though.
Oh, that's what I'm calling you for. I'm actually calling to tell you won that giveaway.
You got to be kidding me.
No, this is not a prank. This is an actual phone call from me to tell you congratulations, you just won.
Wow. And this is the build your own whatever?
Yep. This is the full build giveaway, man. You were the winner, so congratulations, man. Yeah,
Holy crap.
Sorry I snuck on your Instagram trying to get a little bit of, by the way, have you got 2 Broncos?
I do, sir.
That is awesome, man. That is all. Yeah, so you've got up to $5,000 worth of custom wheels, tires, lift kit, whatever it is you want. You got 5 G's to play with.
Wow. Sounds like I'm going to be coming to Alabama pretty soon.
You better. You better. Well, anyways, hey, this call was being recorded for our YouTube channel, so I hope that's okay. So let me go ahead and finish up, wrapping up the rest of this video, and be looking out for another phone call from this. This is actually my personal cell phone number, so I'll go over the rest of the details here once we wrap up this video, okay?
Okay, Mitchell. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations, Michael.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, that turned out really, really well. The fact that he answered first call, yeah, that could not have gone any smoother. Well, congratulations, Michael. And now let's get back to this Bronco.
So making our way to the back of this thing, we do have to stop on the side here. As you can tell, this does have a set of rock slide engineering step rails. These are one of our favorite things to add to any build we do. Not only does it add this level of protection, but it also adds these steps. Me being a shorter guy, as we know.
Not 6'3".
Not 6'3", you know. It is a little harder for me to step in and out of these lifted vehicles, so having these is a great option. As you can tell, they kick down real good and they flip back up real good. And then that gives you that protection, and these are rated to actually handle the weight of the vehicle on either side. So these things are super strong, work super well, and Mitchell's got a set on his, I think, right?
I do have a set on mine.
All right.
I absolutely love them, and I know we've sold a ton of these step bars
We have.
on our website. So once again, shameless plug, I'll have these linked down below. One of my favorite features of those step bars, this is really not a constraint issue from Ford side, but there is a big red button in here. You can power those boards down, and I just flipped the switch. Colton, open that door back for us again. Guess what? It completely turns those running boards off, so that way you can take your doors off the Bronco and you don't have to worry about, am I going to be riding around with the doors down or with the step bars down that entire time. Now there's also an optional doors off kit where you can force those boards up and down with a toggle switch. But if you don't want that or don't have that optional feature added to it, you've got that power source located right there. Now, I want to talk about another thing. Since I'm over here on this side, Josh, can you guys see what this is right here? This little thingy right here, does anybody know what that is? That's called a soft top.
Oh.
This is a massive concern still to get your Bronco scheduled. I can't tell you how many people I've had say, oh, but you don't understand, Mitchell. I've been waiting since August or July of 2020 for my Bronco. And I asked them, I said, why? Why are you still waiting? Let me take a look at your order. And almost every time they say, well, I've got this option, this option, this option, this option, this option. And, oh, and by the way, I've got a hard top. The hard top is still a disastrous issue, not from a product standpoint. It's actually a really nice hard top, but they can't build enough of them. They cannot build enough of them. That I know you guys are thinking that, oh, something's changed. It really has not changed. You know, you can look at those production numbers most recently. We'll have those on the screen. A big part of that is not just microchips. That is also an issue, but it's also hard tops. It's also just supply chain. Think about it. For every particular Ford OEM option that you add to your build, there might be one supplier for this part, one supplier for that part, one supplier for that part, and one supplier for that part. And if all the parts are not readily available when it comes time to schedule your order, they're going to skip you and go to the next one. So you need to consider, if it is not a deal breaker of an option, you've got to consider leave that option off of your build. But this one is the deal killer. But guys, I love the soft top. I am a soft top junkie. You guys know that I've had the soft top for a long time. You hit the button and guess what? You can take that soft top to this location and you can ride around all day long just like this. You know what? If you want to, you can push this forward, hit the latch on this side, hit the latch on that side. You can ride around all day long like this and leave these panels out of the back if you want to. You can put the panels back in here and ride around with the top in that first position. You can do that as well. There's a lot of different options for that particular soft top. And I've had a lot of people say, well, oh, I don't like the way these windows on the side look because they look saggy. And it really never did bother me. It really didn't until I went to the Bronco Super Celebration and I saw the best top, soft top, on a couple of those Broncos out there. And I do have to say that I think I'm probably going to be buying a soft top for my Bronco, even though I've already got the soft top. I'm probably going to be upgrading to that best top because that vinyl window on the side on that best top is glass-like because it's pulled so tight. It looks fantastic. So I can't wait to show that to you on a future video.
So Mitchell, I hear a lot about people being really worried about how secure the soft top is, and you know, that's why they're kind of waiting for that hard top. But we have a lot of options that help out with that with security. One of them being is this drawer. This thing locks away, so even if somebody cuts your window open and tries to get in here, you've got this right here that locks. There's a lot of other options. We've got some cargo enclosures. Mitchell's got one in his. It's the tall one that goes up and down. It even gives you a place to mount some stuff. He's actually got his air compressor mounted to the bottom, that out of the way hid, so it's not even taking up any room. So you actually gain a little room sometimes when you add that thing. A lot of people think you throw a big cargo enclosure in here, you lose space, but no, you've actually got places to mount stuff up top, to the side, stuff like that. And again, it's one thing you don't need to worry about. There are options to keep all your stuff secure that you need.
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you, I absolutely love my cargo area enclosure because if I'm you know, traveling and I've got a $6,000 camera set up, I can put it in the back here and I don't have to worry about someone smashing a glass or slicing open the soft top.
That's right.
Because let me tell you, there's nothing that's more secure than that metal. So I don't know that I would feel comfortable even in a hard top having all of that expensive camera gear in the back of my Bronco. So man, I think this is a fantastic option, especially when you compare that to that bigger cabinet.
That's right. So back here we did want to mention that they do have this Fab 4's matching rear bumper for the front bumper. Again, this thing comes with provisions for the parking sensors. It comes with these D-ring hooks. It keeps this license plate in the factory location. I know, like Mitchell's bumper, he had to get a thing to put it on his spare tire. This actually keeps it in that factory location, so you don't have to hunt away to mount that up. But yeah, it works with all your factory options. It even is able to help you still be able to use your factory tow hitch and wiring. A lot of these new bumpers either get in the way or don't have that provision there to run that anymore, and that's a reason why this one's so good.
Well, you talk about that tow hitch, and I don't think this one was actually had the tow hitch from the factory, tow capability. Is that correct?
No, sir, it did not.
And so the reason I bring that up is because that is a catastrophic issue with ordering a Bronco. If you're interested in getting your Bronco in any relative time, I don't care what the forums have said, it is still a concern. You need to consider taking the towing capability off of your order. Now there's some things I need to make sure that there's confusion out there in the world. If you need a 7-pin connector, you need to get it from the factory. If you don't need a 7-pin connector, you need to absolutely leave the towing capability off from the factory. A lot of people don't know what a 7-pin is versus a 4-pin. Basically, if you need trailer brake controller, you need to go with the towing capability from the factory. If you don't need trailer brakes, then you can take that off. But let me place my argument on why nobody needs the trailer brakes in a Bronco. Well, maybe nobody. There's probably that one case scenario.
Select few, for sure.
Roast me in the comments if you're one of those select few. But if you're that person that is towing something heavy enough to tow with trailer brakes, I want to remind you, how much does that trailer weigh? How much does the stuff on top of it weigh? Usually when I think of something with trailer brakes, it's something really dadgum heavy that you're towing.
Yeah, 6,000 to 7,000 pounds.
That's exactly right. Do you know what the towing capability on a Bronco is? Do you know?
3,500 pounds.
So my argument, it usually is, well, how much are you towing? I'm putting on 5,000 or 6,000 pounds. Bro, the Bronco's not going to tow what you need to anyway.
Exactly.
So take the towing capability off and get your Bronco sooner.
So while we're back here and while we're all the way down here looking at this trailer hitch, another thing I want to mention is this Roush exhaust here. We actually combine this Roush exhaust with a Roush intake, give this thing a little more character, a little more noise, that we can actually hear this thing coming when it's going on the road. Now it's not too loud, it's not obnoxious, it's not a bumblebee. Gives it a little bit deeper tone, a little nicer sound. As you can hear, you can actually hear the exhaust, but it's also not blowing your ears out.
Hey Colton, I think you forgot something. This thing got that third brake light ring. I think that thing is fantastic. You like that?
I love it, man. Yeah, so whenever you do these bigger tires like this, they do have some third brake light relocation kits, but a lot of times with 37s, they don't quite get high enough. So what we've went with is these Oracle third brake light rings, and this works really well. It shows through the wheel. It's actually got a little more surface area than that other smaller third brake light, so it's definitely a noticeable thing that when you hit your brakes, someone behind you is going to see that.
Absolutely, and it is nice and bright. It's not going to blind the person behind you, but it's definitely going to get more attention from that person behind you than a stock OEM setup would.
So there's a lot of add-ons we do to the back of this thing. As you saw, the bumper, we got the bigger wheel and tire, we got the third brake light, and we also have this rough country reinforcement, tailgate reinforcement here. This keeps the weight a little more on the actual rails here instead of just directly on the tailgate. A lot of people are going off-roading and they're having this tailgate buckle when they go over bumps and stuff like that. And this is one way to reassure yourself that that's not going to happen. You don't want to ruin a tailgate on a brand new vehicle, especially if you're not even wrecking. If you're just going over a bump and that whole thing kind of rips off or buckles up, that'd be very disappointing.
Absolutely. And also, I will say that this one does have a tire relocation where it brings it up higher for better ground clearance at the bottom. But keep in mind that Fab Force also has a relocation for that as well. They don't have the support bracket yet. Hopefully that's coming very, very soon, but they do have that spare tire relocation. That's something you also might want to consider. I'll have that link down below. Let me get the door for you, sir.
Thank you so much. So if you look in here inside of the door jamb, you'll see that we've got our own stickers in here. And what these stickers kind of denote is the different weight of the vehicle after modification, the different tire size, kind of any warning to the driver about how this has been modified and may not be safe to drive at 100 miles an hour around an off-ramp or anything like that.
What do you mean?
Well, you can't be driving this thing like a race car. You got to remember
fast.
You got to remember when you're in the GT and you got to remember when you're in the Bronco. There's a difference.
It's like Ricky Bobby. I just want to go fast.
That's right.
Well, that's a good point. I'm so glad that you bring that up because there's so many custom shops out there that don't recalibrate the speedometer. They don't take the time to make sure that they weigh the vehicle if it's necessary and things like that. You know, we talk about doing things right every single time. We also recalibrate the cameras. Is that correct?
We do, yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit more about why we do that?
So essentially these cameras are set up to catch things at certain height, certain levels. You know, a person's only going to be so tall or so short, a car's only going to be so high or so low. And if you don't recalibrate those, it may miss that person, it may miss that car. So what you do is you have to re-angle those cameras, and of course since you're going up with it, you have to angle those cameras down just a little bit. That way again, so all those safety sensors are catching everything. And you know, we have some people ask, you know, why do you have to do that? I don't want to pay to do that. We basically won't do it if you won't let us do that, because that's a risk for you, me, the customer, everybody. So there's certain things that need to be done, and like you said, there's some shops that don't take that into consideration.
That's a great point, because a lot of people don't realize that even on vehicles like this one does not have the adaptive cruise control, but there is still collision sensors, and they're located in the camera up here in the windshield. So if you don't recalibrate that, if a Mazda Miata is in front of you, they slam on the brakes and you've lifted it, those sensors, this camera is looking beyond the Miata, not at the Miata, and you could potentially open yourself up for a really, really bad accident. And that's why we take the extra step to do that. There's a lot of good places that can do that if you're interested in just buying the lift kit or whatever and you want to do that on your own. But make sure that you get it done, regardless. It's, as Colton said, it's something that we're not going to give the customer choice. We're going to do it one way or the other. But on the inside, I do want to talk about a couple of different things. You've got this massive 12-inch LCD touchscreen here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the vehicle on. I'm not going to be able to crank it up because I don't have my foot on the brake. But notice this massive 12-inch LCD screen. That is going to be included in the High package and the Lux package. Now keep in mind the 23 order banks are just around the corner, and so some things might change with packaging. I don't expect them to, but they could. But the reason I bring this up is because if you have a lot of customers that say, oh, I gotta have the Lux package, I gotta have the Lux package. And I get that, because if you guys are an OG and you follow our channel for a while, you guys know that I had a High package. I ended up selling that and got the Lux package, and that one I'm gonna keep for a very, very long time. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. But the reason I bring that up in this screen is because the Lux package comes with a couple different things. It comes with adaptive cruise control, comes with a wireless phone charger, comes with heated steering wheel. It comes with a couple of different things that my memory's leaving me right now. But one thing that every one of those things has in common, extra microchips. And I think everybody understands that is still a very, very severe issue. And so it is significantly harder for Ford to schedule a vehicle with a Lux package because of the increased number of microchips. A lot of people don't realize this, but like the average F-150, and I know we're talking about Broncos, but the average F-150 has 3,500 microchips in it. And that's for the average. That blows my mind, considering like an iPhone, or very, very fancy iPhone's got like 10 or 12, something crazy. So these vehicles are very advanced. It takes a lot to power these and all the different electronics and things like that. So just take that into consideration when you're considering ordering your Bronco. The general rule of thumb is go with the lowest trim level you can stand, the lowest package you can. So if you don't need a Badlands, don't get a Badlands. Go get you an Outer Banks, go get you a Big Bend. Big Bend is the easiest trim for them to currently build. And you need to consider the lowest package you can. So if you have to have a Lux package, that's fine, go with the Lux package. I'm not trying to talk you out of that. But if you can get away with a high package, consider that. If you can get away with a mid package, get away with that, go with that. You need to go with that lowest package you possibly can, because it means fewer microchips. It also means fewer suppliers needed to build that particular Bronco.
Well, dang, that's where you've almost got me wanting to take my order from a Lux to a high package now.
Yep, yeah, because that's a good point, because you've got one on order as well. So, you know, I'm not trying to talk anybody out of their particular desired package. It's just my job to inform people and then let them make that wise decision. Let them make that informed decision. So
exactly.
What do we got up in here underneath the hood?
Under this hood right here.
Yeah, this one's got the 2.7. Is that correct?
2.7, the big boy.
You got the big boy. You got a 2.3 and a 2.7. That is also another thing that it's not crazy out of whack. I mean, you can definitely get a 2.7. It's nothing like all the other options that I've mentioned. This is hot, so I'm going to put the hood prop up. Holy smokes! Yeah, it's.
Who would have thought? Metal, hot.
Yeah, 95 degrees. You know, hey, whatever. But the 2.7 is going to be a supply constraint. It's not anywhere near as bad as something like the tow package or the Lux package or all the stuff that we've already talked about, but it is going to slow you down just a little bit. So consider going to the 2.3 if that's something that you are interested in, especially if you're going to be going with something with more aggressive gear ratios like the Badlands, or heaven forbid, and you can't give up the Sasquatch package, So,
there you go.
But yeah, there's that Roush cold air intake that you talked about just a second ago
Keeps it
as
nice
well.
and cold, yeah. And another thing I've actually noticed on this, I've never noticed before, it's actually got a rain shield on it as well. So just in case you do get any water in there, there's a very small filter that's over the filter. I know it's really hard to see, but that actually is like hydrophobic, and it keeps a lot of the water from going in there, even if it does get into the air box somehow.
That was like Inception for air filters.
Yeah, it's a filter for a filter.
That's great. Okay, so I noticed this is different. What we got here?
Yeah, so when we got this bumper, it does recommend a 10S winch, but we wanted that big boy. We wanted that 12S, and it said that as long as you relocated this module right here, you were able to run the 12S. So we actually mounted it right there. That was, you know, kind of the best place we could get it to go. We didn't want it behind the bumper anywhere where it could get wet, anything like that. So we mounted it right here. No issues with the hood closing or anything, works perfectly fine.
And the cool part is you don't actually have to get access to this because you've got that wireless remote that you talked about earlier.
That's right. And Josh, I think Josh grabbed a quick video of me using that thing.
That is so true.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
That's because I didn't want you to hear me, Siri. Well, there you go. I think that's the sign that we need to go ahead and wrap this video up, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something. Once again, I'm going to summarize this whole video in a very, very quick second. You need to go with the lowest trim level with as few options in the lowest package you possibly can. That will speed up your order. And every other option and package you add to that will incrementally slow down the build. So keep that in mind when you are ordering your Bronco, whether it's the 22 or that 23, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hit us up with some comments down below if you think I've lost my rocker, or if you think Ford has, or just to say hi if you want to, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, if you are interested in buying any of these parts, make sure to click on those links down below if you have any questions, or feel free to give my man C-Love a phone call. His phone number is right about here.
And don't forget to visit tccustoms.com if you need any aftermarket parts, accessories for any maker model vehicle.
That's a great point. Not just Ford Bronco, but even Jeep Wrangler. I can't believe I said that. But anyways, either ways, no, we love Bronco, we love Ford. That is our first and foremost, but that's a good point. All makes and all models. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss a single video. Peace.